Okay, today on Bouncearound Charleston, something we want to talk about that's out there right now. It's called bullying. And Jason Bowen of the Charleston County Sheriff's Office, dealing with internet safety and cyberbullying. We're going to talk about that today and some of the things we should look for. Jason, welcome to Bouncearound Charleston.
Thank you very much.
Explain to me internet safety, cyberbullying.
So, my position at the Sheriff's Office, I'm part of a task force called the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force.
Okay.
And we investigate any crime involving a child and technology. And when it comes to cyberbullying, it's a little bit of what you would think about as normal bullying, but it has the added twist of being online.
I have watched some videos on YouTube. I went to YouTube for one other reason, and then all of a sudden up pops a video of some young people beating up another person, and people are standing around videotaping.
Yes, and unfortunately, that's happening all too often. Instead of the person using that cell phone to maybe call a report in and get some help for the person who's being assaulted, they're standing there videoing it. And then that then becomes ammunition for cyberbullying, because that video is posted on YouTube, which can be shared to Facebook, Instagram, all these other platforms. And so if I was the person who were getting beat up, they can then tag me in that video, and so I have to relive that moment over and over
again
and see all the negative comments that go along with it.
And then that tears down self-esteem.
It does. It for the victim, it can tear down self-esteem. It can cause them to become withdrawn. Sometimes they might lash out or react violently. In extreme cases, it can cause the victim to harm themselves or to commit or to attempt suicide.
Wow. So what should a student do if they're being bullied?
Great. So if a student is being bullied, one of the first things to do is not respond. And that's right. That's whether it's online or in real life. By responding, they're adding fuel to the fire, so to speak. And so that's number one. Number two, we always say, talk to a trusted adult. And we say trusted adult because in that student's life, it might be a teacher, it might be a grandparent, it might be their parents, but talk to somebody, report it. Just because a student reports bullying doesn't mean it's gonna blow up and go crazy. You know, it's a bullying incident between two children. Okay. Chances are the first step is gonna be some intervention.
Okay, so when they report it to the parents, what then should the parents do?
So the parents, it depends on where the bullying takes place. If it is occurring at school, the parents should definitely talk to their school administration. The guidance counselor is a wonderful resource to see what interventions they can help with, maybe what resources they can suggest. If it's happening outside of school, they could call our office. We can give them some tips. There's also a couple of good resources online. Two of my favorites are netsmarts.org and if you search basically online bullying or bullying in general, there's the Digital Media Foundation.
And they can give you some good resource help.
They do, yes.
Okay, so tell me this. I'm a parent. My child comes home. What signs of body language should I look for that would tell me that my child is being bullied? But the flip side of that, I want you to answer both sides.
Sure.
The flip side of this is also, how would a parent also be able to tell that their child is the bully?
Great question, because sometimes one child can be on both sides of that coin. Maybe one year he was the victim, and unfortunately their response the next year might be to be the bully. Or maybe they're bullying some children and they are being bullied themselves. So signs that they're being bullied, and some of these cross for both, will include things like becoming withdrawn, avoiding certain activities or locations. So if it's bullying at school or at church or at a sports activity, they're going to suddenly, something that they used to enjoy, now all of a sudden they don't want to go.
They're going to draw back from it.
That's right. Maybe they avoid certain friends that they used to hang out with before, they used to spend time with, and they avoid talking about what's going on with those people. If they're the ones doing the bullying, they might do things like you might see new friends as a parent that you're unfamiliar with. You might also see them being more secretive with those new friends.
Okay.
And also you might see them excluding some of those old friends if that's the friend that's being bullied. If it's happening online as the victim, they might become reluctant to use the computer or use social media, whereas before maybe they enjoyed it.
Okay, so now I'm in the classroom and I have this situation going on. As a teacher, what should I do?
So as a teacher, and the teachers are quite well versed in this. I've got some background as a school resource officer, so we dealt with it a little bit then. There's a state statute called the South Carolina School Climate Act, Safe School Climate Act. Every school district is required to adopt a bullying policy.
Wow.
And
every school district?
Yes.
Okay.
And so what that does, the reason is there's not a particular state law that makes quote-unquote bullying illegal. It does deal with the behaviors that we see in bullying, but there's not a law that says bullying's illegal.
But each school district should have something set up that would allow each school to know how to handle that situation if it's there.
That's right. And so oftentimes within that policy, they might define what bullying would look like within their school. They would define what some of the discipline actions could be taken, and also the interventions. So, you know, who's going to deal with it?
Now, you know, we don't like the word being a snitch, but if your friend is being bullied, what should you do?
So I always like to go over the golden rule with students. And the golden rule, of course, is to do unto others as you want them to do unto you.
Okay.
And I explain to students that means if I want respect, I should give respect. Now, and that applies all the way down to if I see my friend being bullied, what would I want somebody to do for me if I were the one being bullied? Well, at a minimum, I would want them to say, hey, stop, leave him alone.
Yes.
So that's the first thing that I encourage students to do is you don't have to respond violently or getting any kind of an argument. All you have to do is say stop.
Because the person that's videotaping, that's not your friend.
That's right.
And real quickly, in one sentence, can you tell me what do you think is a possible solution for bullying?
I think it's communication.
Communication.
So letting that bully know the effect that they're having on the student, and letting them really see what they're doing to the student. Okay.
Well, Jason Bowen from the Charleston County Sheriff's Office, thank you for being here on Bouncearound Charleston, talking about internet safety, cyberbullying. If someone's bullying you, tell somebody.